parents. I am so glad that you joined us this weekend to worship and to hear from God's story. And before we get to our lesson today, I just want to talk to you about two things. The first thing is that we have missed you guys so much, and we've just missed seeing you in person, but we are ready to open up our environments for you. So on October 18th, we will have programming for all ages of our Next Gen ministry at both services. Now, if your parents aren't in the room, kids, go grab them real quick because they need to hear this. Parents, you will need to register your kids to let us know that they're going to come. And you do that just like you do for the adult worship tickets. So that's on our website. And we do have limits of how many can be in each of our spaces for each hour. And that's for your child safety as well as our volunteer safety. So parents, you should have seen an email from me. Now, I know some of you might have saved my email for later to watch at a later time, and then maybe you have forgotten and you need to go back and look at it. Wink, wink. Anyway, I shared through video as well as a document that hopefully will answer all of your questions. So be sure to check that email out. It's really important. The second thing I want to share with you is to remind you to register for our October block party, which will be an outdoor movie. And the date is on October 17th. That's the night before we regather on the 18th. So we will have family treat bags, and of course we're going to have lots of popcorn. And all you need to do is let us know you're coming by registering, and you can find that on our website. Bring your blankets, your chairs, anything to keep you comfy while watching the movie. Now, I can't tell you what the movie is, but I'm going to give you some clues. So just listen real carefully. Moving doors, catching screams, two friends, one that's blue and furry, and one that has one eye. Now, they go on an adventure, and they end up doing the true and the right thing. All right, so hope you can figure that out, what movie we're going to be showing. But that leads us right to our lesson today. So if you're a preschooler, you're going to learn that God is always with you wherever you are. He's with you in the car, in the kitchen, in your backyard, at your preschool. He's your friend always, and he wants the best for you. And that is truth, and that's truth that we all need to hear, right? Elementary kids, we're starting a new theme for this month. So today we're going to be learning about integrity, and that's just a big word that means that you're going to be truthful in whatever you say and whatever you do. Now, I know that being truthful is not always easy. It's hard for all of us, but God has proven over and over that he's truth and his word never fails, and he's been faithful to his character of always being truthful. So we're going to go back and look at his story of people who have followed him and made choices to live a life of integrity. And my prayer for you is that you will make those same choices. Have an awesome day, and I hope to see so many of you on the 17th for our block party, our movie night, and on the 18th at our Next Gen regathering. Bye.
Are you always you? Let me try that again. Are you always the same you, no matter who you're with? It's tempting sometimes to wear two different faces in two different places. You're polite to your teacher, but you snap at your mom. Or you answer every question in small group, but you don't speak up when a kid at school is being bullied. Or you're always careful with screen time at home, but at a friend's house, you visit websites your parents haven't okayed. You tell yourself you're not lying. Not really. Not with your mouth. But your actions say that you're two different people. Instead, you can choose to be truthful in all you say and do. Treat everyone with respect, not just the people who can help you. Choose to always obey your parents, even if they're not around. And if you love building epic Lego creations at home, don't pretend at school you don't like Legos because it might not be cool. When you choose to be the you that God made you to be, no matter where you are, others can see God at work in you. That's why integrity is an amazing way to worship God with your life. Because worship is about more than just singing loud. It's all about living loud.
Before the day I took a breath, you had a plan for my every step. You promised to always be by my side. I believe that you are the way, you are the truth, you are the light. So I sing this to you. You keep your promises every day. I will believe in everything that you say. Yeah, in the dark I know you're making a way. Jesus, I will trust you. You're always good at everything that you do. And I know everything that you say is true. And every moment you are leading me through. Jesus, I will trust you. I wanna be honest and true and do what's right the way you do. You're teaching me to take a stand and live for you. 'Cause I believe that you are the way, you are the truth, you are the light. So I sing this to you. You keep your promises every day. I will believe in everything that you say. Yeah, in the dark I know you're making a way. Jesus, I will trust you. You're always good at everything that you do. And I know everything that you say is true. And every moment you are leading me through. Jesus, I will trust you. Even in the moments I feel alone, I know I can. Trust that you're working and holding my world in your hands. Even in the moments I feel alone, I know I can. Trust that you're working and holding my world in your hands. You are the way, you are the truth, you are the life. So I sing this to you. You keep your promises every day. I will believe in everything that you say. Yeah, in the dark I know you're making a way. Jesus, I will trust you. You're always good at everything that you do. And I know everything that you say is true. And every moment you are leading me through. Jesus, I will trust you.
Oh, hey. Hello, planet Earth! It's me, Graham, professional astronaut, broadcasting live from outer space. You know, not a lot of people thought I would make it all the way to Saturn, but you know what? They were right. It's just a costume. I'm still on Earth. I love to dress up and pretend to be other people. Don't you? I mean, I love to dress up in costumes and wear scary makeup or funny masks. It's out of this world. because I'm an astronaut. Oh, but today we're talking about what it's like to live our lives without masks, without costumes. What it's like to live with integrity. Now, integrity is choosing to be truthful in whatever you say and do. It's harder than it sounds to live with integrity. There's so many reasons to pretend to be someone you're not. I mean, you may want people to think you're funny. You may want your teachers to think that you're smart. E equals MC squared. The capital of Mongolia is Ulaanbaatar. A woodchuck can chuck 32 cords of wood. And you probably want your friends to think that you're cool. Cool kids still dress like this, right? See what I mean? It isn't always easy to just be true to who you are. In today's story, we'll learn about some guys who were under a lot of pressure to be like everybody else. We'll find out if they were able to stay true to who God made them to be. I'll be back in a minute. Instead of a minute, it's moon it. Because I'm in space. Maybe I should dress up as the clown again.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Daniel. Chapter 1.
Daniel was only a very young man when King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon conquered the land of Judah. Nebuchadnezzar made sure that God's people wouldn't rebel by taking Daniel and other young men from royal families in Judah and marching them back to Babylon with him.
Will we ever see our home again?
Daniel's friends were just as scared and confused as he was.
Where will we live? What will he do to us? I sure hope the food is decent.
Daniel tried to reassure them as the imposing city gates rose ahead.
God will be with us, whatever happens.
The king chose the brightest and best young men from Judah and ordered that they receive special training.
After 3 years, you will get to be very important and serve me.
The chief official Ashpenaz took charge of Daniel and his friends.
Tut-tut. Those wishy-washy Hebrew names just won't do. You need new ones.
New what?
Names. Let's see. Daniel, we'll call you Belteshazzar. And you three will be Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Are those names, or is he just sneezing?
You'll learn our language, of course. And all the Babylonian writings?
Daniel's heart sank as he realized what was happening. The king wanted Daniel and his friends to forget they were God's people. He wanted them to become Babylonians. But Abednego was worried about something else.
Hey, I'm about to starve. Any way we can get a bite to eat?
Right this way.
Ashpenaz led Daniel and his friends to a big table set with mouth-watering foods.
Steak.
Or those Babylonian buffalo bites.
The cake's got at least 9 layers.
Only the best, straight from the king's table.
Oh, the food smelled delicious. But Daniel pulled his friends aside.
Guys, if this food is from the king's table, that means it's been offered to false gods first.
Uh-oh, not good.
Our new names and training are one thing, but if we eat this food, it's like we're saying we're okay with false gods.
But we gotta eat something, man.
We can ask for different food, simple stuff that hasn't been offered to the false gods.
But that chocolate cake! Abednego! Okay.
Daniel and his friends turned back to Ashpenaz. They tried to ignore the delicious smells wafting from the table.
This all looks great, but could we eat something that's not from the king's table? It doesn't need to be anything fancy.
The king is my master. He's decided what you must eat and drink. What if you don't eat this and he sees you looking worse than the other young men? He might kill me.
No matter what Daniel said, Ashpenaz was too fearful to listen, so Daniel approached the guard assigned to take care of them.
Please, just test us for 10 days. Give us nothing but vegetables to eat and water to drink. See how we look then.
Well, if Brussels sprouts are your thing.
For 10 days, the guards gave Daniel and his friends nothing to eat but veggies and water.
I could get into the habit of cabbage.
I like broccoli, probably. Pass the peas, if you please. I just want a hamburger.
Let me tell you, it wasn't easy to say no to all those delicious foods the other young men got to eat. But at the end of 10 days, the guard called everybody out.
Line 'em up.
He strode past the other young men.
Good. I can see you've been eating well.
When the guard reached Daniel and his friends, he stopped in surprise.
What? You've been eating rabbit food, but you look even better fed than the others.
Daniel smiled. God had helped them grow strong even without eating the food offered to false gods.
Okay, fine. You can keep eating veggies and water.
Rats?
Thank you.
God continued to give Daniel and his friends knowledge and understanding as they studied, and at the end of their training, they were brought before the king.
Let's see what you know. How many inches in a meter?
39.3701.
What do you call a group of porcupines?
A prickle.
If it takes 8 men 10 hours to build a wall, how long would it take 4 men?
No time at all, because the wall's already built.
How are you all so smart?
The one true God gives us wisdom.
Well, we'll see about that. Anyhow, you're 10 times smarter than my other advisors. You get to be very important and serve me.
Daniel and his friends eventually became the king's most trusted advisors, and even though they served the king of Babylon, they never stopped standing strong for the one true God in everything they said and did.
Okay, so Daniel and his friends were in a really bad situation. They were taken from their homes and they were forced to be some king's servant. But even then, they chose to be true to themselves. They chose to live the way God wanted them to live. You see that kind of integrity a lot in the Bible. I mean, think of Jesus. He was always true to himself. Jesus could have gone along with the crowd, but instead he lived the way he knew was true, even when it meant giving up his life for you and me. So how can we be true with our lives? Well, it's great if you want people to think that you're fun or funny, but not if it means, say, hurting someone's feelings to get a laugh. I have no idea how to make balloon animals. And being cool is cool, you know? But if you have to pretend to be something that you're not so people think that you're cool, that's not cool. Cool? What's another word for cool? So here's the one thing to remember today. Be truthful with your whole life. You can choose to be who God made you to be. I mean, to be honest and true in what you say and in what you do. Like I said before, it isn't always easy, so ask God for help. That's one small step for you and one giant leap for integrity.
Goodbye.